the question is, what do you do if you start late in life with rowing, and how do you become competitive? Hello and welcome everybody. I got a question on YouTube. That question is from Abby. Abby, thank you very much for coming up with this point. I think you're absolutely right. Abby says that most information out there about rowing seems to be geared towards younger rowers. Can be, but for me it's no difference. I don't care if you're junior, masters athlete, under 23, senior A. It is always the same sport. It's always the same competition. It's the fun aspect about it. So she says there are some fast old people out there. Abby, you said that, I didn't. And what are the factors that are in our control and outside of it? Technique, physique. Okay, so if I get you right, the question is, what do you do if you start late in life with rowing, and how do you become competitive? That's one of my seminars. So I haven't posted dates yet. There will be one in 2019. But so much for now. First up, your background defines a lot. So if you have never, ever done sports before, this is going to be a steep learning curve. Not just for your brain, for your body. So it is good if you have done some kind of sports, and even if it wasn't a competitive sports, at least during school, maybe during high school, in your early 20s. That helps, because it just needs, your body learns certain coordination things between mind and body that are difficult to learn later on. You can, but it takes more time. So your background, it is absolutely enough if you have played a bit of tennis, if you've played a bit of table tennis, if you've done a bit of jogging, walking, a bit of swimming, a bit this and there, maybe once or twice a week. That's already good, you know. If you have been a couch potato all life, it still works, but expect a lot of work. So, point A, history. Point B, and this is something I realize, and I'm a man, I can say that, men seem to start off with everything is going to be more powerful in rowing. So when men start to row late, and I learned this when I was 14 working with beginners, adult men usually start to row with, I got the power, I can handle that boat, boom, punch that thing along, and you don't really feel what's going on. Now this is a problem because you need a lot of feeling first, and women don't seem to have that problem so much. So you start off with feeling what this boat does. So point B is, don't expect a hard cardio workout from the start. Expect to feel the boat. And probably a standard erg is not the best thing to start out with, because then you learn that erg thing, and then you have to learn rowing from scratch again in the boat. So my experience is that starting off with a buyer rower is probably easier. And I'm not saying this to sell more of the products we make. We actually started to build the buyer rower for this very reason, to avoid health injuries with your back and to be able to learn certain things about rowing technique easier off the water in a safe environment. So it is the reverse effect right there. Point C. So your history is now outside of your control. B, allowing yourself to get the right training equipment and feel the rowing motion more than you work with power. This is within your control. Also within your control is the structure of training. Many rowers who start late start to compete right away. And even if you wait for 1 year, you first of all need a physical plus technical build-up. And by this I mean a structured training plan. You need somebody not just to teach you how to row, but you need somebody who guides you physically and say, look, what is your history? All right, this is where we start from. The first 2 weeks, you will do so and so many sessions on the buyer rower in the boat. It is also quite practical to have 2 coaches, one for the technique and one for the cardio issues, so one for the physical build-up. Another thing, rowing needs weight training. This is also within your control. Rowing needs weight training in terms of strengthening all the joints, tendons, ligaments you have. It's not the muscle buildup. It is the stability of your body that you gain with strength and weight training. So dedicated weight training for me is one of the big entry tickets for a late starting rowing career as a masters athlete. Then another thing I see a lot with athletes who start to row late, there's no training planning structure in terms of you need so and so much low endurance with variations versus so and so much high intensity stuff or medium intensity stuff. There's just go out, row, do this and that, and yeah, you're gonna get better. Of course you will get better in the first 2-3 years, but then you will reach a plateau. And this plateau is usually reached when you have used all the high intensity training potential there is, and you have used the technique improvement that was possible so far. So if I write a training plan for somebody who just starts to row late in life, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, that's all considered late. It doesn't matter if you're 30 or twice as old, 60, it's still late. I started to row at the age of 10. Now this might be quite early. A lot of people start between 14 and 18. All right. But everything past 20 is already considered to be a bit late. Never too late, but later than the growing up with rowing stuff. So you need a structure in your training plan where you have weekly assignments of what to do in which intensity and to see how you react to this. And this includes weight training, strength training. This includes structured low endurance training, structured medium endurance training, and high endurance training. High speed endurance training. This is one of the video subjects I want to cover in the near future. There's a doctor from Austria. His name is Paul Haber, Dr. Paul Haber. He wrote something that's called the 7-year build-up plan for rowers. And he basically says from 0 to Olympic level, it takes you 7 years if you do everything right and everything goes according to plan. And the first 1 or 2 years basically start off with playing around, not really training. And then you can do more and more and more. And if you see that idea or suggestion he makes, at the beginning you think this is never going to get anywhere because these kids are just playing around. But if you check the last 3 years, this is intensive, high intensity, high volume based rowing. And the athletes can handle that because they have the preparation before. And he says you don't have to start from year 0 if you have already quite sports background. See, Oliver Zeidler from Germany, he already brings a lot of physiological background and water feeling along. So he starts probably in year 5, 6, or 7 already. So, and now you as a master starting late, you have to incorporate this idea into your build-up. So what I'm missing with a lot of late starters is a perspective. I mean, of course, first it is the rowing stuff and you just have fun, get on the water. Nobody says, hey, you want to have serious structured rowing training, come to row, it's fun. No, it's the thing you enjoy, just seeing people on the water, and that's what's fun. But once you start to become competitive, this is when you need to restart your training. This is within your control. So to sum it up, Abby, there are not a lot of things that are outside of your control. Your history is outside of your control, but the rest, no. I think a lot is within your control. There's if you have the right structure, if you have the right coaches, if you have the right equipment, and even if you don't have the right equipment, but you have the right coaches, it works. Even if you have not the right coaches, you can get a coach. There's so many good coaches out there. I'm pretty sure your rowing club has a very good one. So you can always, if you don't have one of the things, you can compensate with something else. All right, Abby, there's so much to talk about. I just leave it here, and I will post the seminar dates on what to do when you start rowing late. And I hope to see you there. I wish you a very good day, Abby. And if you have any more questions, guys, looking forward to read them. And if you have not subscribed, click on the subscribe button. Looking forward to see you next time. Bye-bye.